Hi, I'm Mr. C, the teacher, and the lessons I've created here are the same ones I use in my classroom on a daily basis. So grab your tools for school and join in with our lessons, or just sit back and watch along with us. Let's do some learning together, because you're watching Lessons from the Classroom. Hey Melvin, I'm really excited about what we've put together here for Lessons from the Classroom. We've taken all of the modules from 1 through 10 in the column curriculum program, and we've taken just the problem-solving stories, the solution center stories, right? Yeah, and we put them all into one episode, kind of like a review of all of the different problem-solving strategies that you can use. Hey, Melvin says he's brought a solution that makes everyone feel happy. And he wants you to guess which solution he brought. All right, Melvin, I'll read the solution card. Yeah, I've got it right here. This is our solution card. And it says, one day, Melvin and Tucker were playing with cars and trucks. Melvin was playing with a red sports car, and Tucker was playing with a blue monster truck. Melvin really liked the red sports car, but he really wanted a turn to play with the blue monster truck. Melvin thought about just taking the blue monster truck from Tucker, but he knew that was not a good idea. Melvin decided to go to our solution center and take the solution board to Tucker so that they could find a solution that they could both agree on. Which solution do you think Melvin and Tucker chose? Melvin and Tucker decided to choose the trade solution. When would be a good time that you could use the trade solution? Sure, I can do that, Melvin. Melvin has lots of other solutions to share with us. He wants us to start a solution center over on the wall there so that we have a safe place to go to be able to figure out how to solve our problems. Yeah, and each week we're going to learn about a new solution from our solution center. Just like today, we learned about the trade solution. And when we trade with some of our friends, everyone gets a chance to try different toys, and then everyone feels happy. Melvin says he's brought us a solution story again. Let's see what the solution might be. Melvin was so excited to see that there was Play-Doh at one of the tables. When it was his turn to leave group time, he went over to the Play-Doh table. Melvin was sad that there were no chairs left for him. Melvin asked his friends if they would share the Play-Doh, and they said there was no more room at the table. Melvin was sad and angry now, and he just wanted to take the Play-Doh from his friends. Melvin knew this was not a good solution, but he was too angry to think of a good solution. Melvin went to the Solution Center and looked at the solutions cards. He wanted to pick a solution to help his body and mind feel better. Which solution do you think Melvin picked to help him feel better? Hey, everyone provided great solutions to help Melvin. Melvin chose the Take a Breath solution to help his body and mind feel better. When would be a good time that you could take the Take a Breath solution? Good idea, Melvin. Sometimes if someone is feeling sad, they can take a deep breath and that might help them feel better. When you're feeling sad, you might want to take a break from what's going on and take some time to think. Then, when you're ready, you can go to the Solution Center to find a solution that might work. Taking a breath might be the solution that works for you. Then, you can tell someone why you're sad. Melvin, this is a really good solution from our Solution Center. It sounds like Melvin wants us to guess this week's solution for our Solution Center. Great idea, Melvin. I'm going to read the solution story. Melvin loves to be at school, learning so many new things. Sometimes, though, the learning can get hard, and this can make Melvin feel angry. Melvin has learned that when his brain hurts, it is learning new things, and sometimes his brain needs to take a break. Today, Melvin was getting frustrated with all the noises around him when he was trying to learn, and his work was becoming harder and harder. Yeah, I don't know if those are going to work on you, Melvin. So Melvin decided to walk over to the Solution Center. And he brought a solution card to his teacher. Thanks, Melvin. Which solution do you think Melvin chose to show his teacher? Melvin decided to choose the Take a Break solution to show to his teacher. Maybe we should set up a calm corner in our classroom too. When would be a time you think you could use the Take a Break solution? Where in the classroom could you take a break? Great story, Melvin. Thanks for providing your friends with another solution from our Solution Center. We can use the Take a Break card when we need a few minutes to calm our mind and our body. We need to know that it's okay to feel angry, and we must try to remember that when we do feel angry, it's not okay to hurt others or ourselves. Yes, Melvin, taking a break is a great solution. When we use the solutions and help each other, we can feel safe when we're at school. Hi, Tucker. We're very pleased to meet you. Okay, I'll tell them. Tucker is a turtle. Tucker is Melvin's very best friend. Tucker wants me to tell you his story. You see, not that long ago, Tucker wasn't always a good friend. You sure you want me to tell this story to everyone? Okay. Tucker, why don't you go ahead and get the book? Oh, that's great, Tucker. Okay, we'll read the story. It's called Tucker Turtle takes time to tuck and think. Tucker the Turtle takes time to tuck and think. Tucker Turtle is a terrific turtle. He likes to play with Melvin and all of his friends at school. But sometimes things happen that can make Tucker really angry. At school, when Tucker got angry, he used to hit, kick, or yell at his friends. His friends would get angry or sad when he hit, kicked, or yelled at them. Tucker's teacher wanted to help Tucker, so she taught him about his brain. She told him that his brain is like a house with an upstairs and a downstairs. Tucker learned when he is in his upstairs brain, he is able to think, play, and be kind to others. And when he is in his downstairs brain, he might hit, kick, or yell at his friends. The teacher taught Tucker there was a special trick he could learn that would help him stay in his upstairs brain. It's called the Tucker technique. Step 1. Stop. First, Tucker needs to stop and keep his hands, body, and yelling to himself. Step 2. Then he can tuck and hug inside his shell. Step 3. And take 3 breaths. Step 4. When Tucker is back in his upstairs brain, he is ready to go to the Solution Center. Step 5. When Tucker is at the Solution Center, he will be able to think of a solution. Tucker's friends are happy when Tucker finds a solution. He uses kind words and keeps his body to himself. Tucker wants to teach you a song that he uses to help him stay in his upstairs brain. 1, 2, 3, the Tucker needs a squeeze. Stop, tuck, and try hug, then breathe, breathe, breathe. The end. Tucker says he's happy now because he's learned about his upstairs and his downstairs brain. Tucker knows that when he gets angry, now he can use his stop, tuck, and hug, and breathe to get into his upstairs brain. Yes, Tucker, there is lots to learn about your brain and how it works. Hey, Tucker, will you show the kids how to do your turtle technique just like you? Great. Tucker's turtle technique involves first stopping, then doing a tuck and hug, taking some deep breaths, and going to the solution board to find a solution to his problem. Thanks for teaching us how to stop, tuck, hug, and breathe, and for giving us a new way to think. Thanks, buddy. Hey, Tucker has a new song that he'd like us to learn. He sings it to remind himself to tuck and hug and breathe. Hey, Tucker, we'd love to learn your song from the story. You ready? Here's how it's sung. 1, 2, 3, a tucker needs a squeeze. Stop, tuck, and try a hug. Then breathe, breathe, breathe. You want the solution story next? Okay. Well, hey, Melvin. Yeah, I was just finishing up with Tucker, and he was teaching us his turtle technique. Yeah, the one where you stop, and you tuck, and you hug, and you take the 3 deep breaths. You know something new about taking deep breaths? You got a new tool. Do you think you could show us that tool? Something new? Cool. Okay, you go get it. Whoa, Melvin, this thing is really cool. I know what this is. Yeah, they call this an expandable ball or an expanding breathing ball. I've heard it called a shilling ball. Yeah. Can I show the kids how it works? Okay, awesome. Let's use your breathing ball. Okay, Melvin, you sit right there. So what you do is, as you breathe in, you're going to pull the ball apart. So breathe in through your nose. Hold it in. Pretty cool, huh? And then breathe out at the same speed the ball is going down. That's called a breathing ball, expandable ball. You ready? One more time. Breathe in through your nose. Hold it. 1, 2, breathe out. Out through your mouth, right? Yeah. One more time. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out. Excellent, Melvin. Hey, thanks for bringing that. Hey, you know what? Tucker was also wondering if maybe you could go get us a solution card story. Yeah. Okay, you go get that. Melvin has another solution card from our solution center, and he wants us to guess which one that he wants us to learn today. Thanks, Melvin. Melvin, I'll read the story on the back of the card. Melvin and Tucker were having lots of fun learning about bugs. They were taking turns using the magnifying glass. Tucker was really interested in the big black beetle, and he wasn't giving Melvin a turn. Melvin was getting angry. He was waiting and waiting for a very long time. Melvin wanted to just take the magnifying glass from Tucker, but he knew that was not a good idea. Melvin decided to go to the solution center and bring the solution board to Tucker. Which solution do you think Melvin and Tucker chose to help make their turns fair? Melvin and Tucker decided to choose the get a timer solution. When would be a time that you could use the get a timer solution? Thanks, Melvin. This solution card is a great way to help our friends if they're having a hard time sharing. You know, getting a timer or taking turns can make it fair for everyone. And here in our classroom, we've got a few different timers. We've got timers that are 10 minutes long and 5 minutes long, a 2-minute timer, and even a 1-minute timer. Or we can use our clock on the wall. Yeah, lots of digital timers too on apps. Oh yes, Melvin, I think the Solution Center back here is very helpful. All of the children are going to the Solution Center to help them solve problems. Melvin, the children are helping each other to go to the Solution Center. And they're working together. Yeah. Melvin says he's brought us another solution story from our Solution Center. And he wants you to guess what solution we're going to learn today. Yes, Melvin, I'll read the story on the back of this card. You ready to act it out? Okay. Melvin was working on a very hard puzzle, and he really wanted to finish it all by himself. Tucker was watching Melvin do the puzzle, and he knew where some of the pieces needed to go, so he started to pick up the pieces and put them into the puzzle. Melvin was getting angry because Tucker kept putting pieces in the puzzle, even when he told him to stop. Melvin and Tucker's friends saw that Melvin was getting angry at Tucker. They decided to bring the solution board to Melvin and Tucker. Which solution do you think Melvin and Tucker chose? Melvin and Tucker decided to choose the wait and take turns solution card. When would be a time that you could use the wait and take turns solution? This solution is another way we can show acts of kindness, as well as respect towards others. When we wait and take our turns, we are also keeping our body safe and our friends safe. Oh, right, I forgot. Hey, Melvin brought us a surprise today. Melvin, you want to go get the surprise? Melvin, you brought Tucker the turtle with you today. Hey, and Tucker's got a new story for us. You're going to read it for us, Tucker? Okay, Melvin, you go head on down there. The story Tucker brought us today, it's called Super Friends. Super Friends. Melvin and Tucker are friends. They like to take turns, share, and play together. At school, Melvin and Tucker like to share toys, books, and sometimes even their favorite treats. Most of the time, Melvin and Tucker are kind to each other when they're playing. But sometimes, even Melvin and Tucker get mad at each other. Melvin might get really angry, and he might want to grab a toy from Tucker. Melvin has learned he can stop his body, tuck and hug, and take 3 monkey breaths to help his body feel better. When Melvin is ready, he can ask Tucker to go to the Solution Center and find a solution that will work for both of them. At the Solution Center, Melvin and Tucker might decide to get a timer, trade, or wait and take turns. Tucker and Melvin are super friends. When you use kind words and help each other to find solutions, you can be a super friend too. The end. Melvin says that Tucker would like to practice the turtle technique and the monkey breaths. Well, let's use the turtle technique strip to help us remember to stop, tuck, hug, and breathe. Want to show them the strip there? Let's bring it a little closer so they can see it. Now let's try by singing the song that we learned from Tucker. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, a Tucker needs a squeeze. Stop, tuck, and try hug. And then breathe, breathe, breathe. Yes, Melvin, everyone's been working so hard. I think they're super friends like you and Tucker are. Monkey breaths and the turtle technique are good solutions. I like the hug, and sometimes we just need a big hug. It can make you feel good. I wonder what solution Melvin has brought us today. Let's read the solution story. Melvin and Tucker like to play together. One day, Tucker brought his favorite airplane to school. Melvin really wanted to play with Tucker's airplane, but Tucker was playing with it. Melvin wished he could have Tucker's airplane for just a few minutes, and then he would give it back. Melvin thought he could just take it from Tucker, but Melvin knew that that was not a good idea. Melvin decided to go to the Solution Center to find a solution that would help him. Which solution do you think Melvin chose? Melvin chose to ask nicely. When would be a good time that you could use the Ask Nicely solution? Solution, Melvin. We can ask nicely when we want something from our friends. When we ask nicely, we're being kind and we're showing respect to others. We can be super friends too. Here's the solution story. One sunny day, Melvin was so excited to go outside to the swings. He liked to go high on the swings, but not too high. One day, Tucker was pushing Melvin on the swings, and Melvin started to go higher and higher and higher. Melvin was getting scared, and he wanted to slow down. Melvin tried to remember the solutions on the solution board that could help him. Melvin, that's a great solution. We can say, please stop, if someone uses words or actions that scare us. We can see the please stop on our solution board back here. Here's our please stop solution card. Thanks, Melvin. That is a great solution in our solution board. Melvin has a problem and he wants to know if you can help him. He said that we could use the solution board to help us solve the problem. But you might have other ideas too. This is a Melvin and Tucker story. It's called The Tent. Melvin and Tucker. Story number 1. The Tent. Tucker and Melvin are good friends. They like playing together in the same area with the same toys. One day, Melvin decided to play in the tent. Tucker saw Melvin go into the tent, so he decided to go into the tent too. The teacher saw Melvin and Tucker go into the tent. The teacher told Melvin and Tucker the tent was only safe for one friend at a time. What should Melvin and Tucker do? Melvin has a problem again this week that he wants to share with us, and he'd like your help with it. He said we can use the solution board to help us, to come up with some solutions for the problem. And we can come up with other solutions too. Let's take a look at the moral story. Melvin and Tucker, story number 2, blocks. At school, Melvin and Tucker like to spend time building giant block towers in the block center. One day, Melvin made a huge castle with the magic sand. He was very proud of his hard work. Tucker thought it would be fun to knock it over. So he did. What should Melvin do? What should Tucker do? Well, we can use the Think of a Solution board to try and help us out to solve that problem. We've got ask nicely, get a teacher, ignore, say please, take a break, take a breath, trade, wait and take turns, get a timer, and play together. What solution do you think might be one of the best ones to use for solving this problem? It sounds like Melvin has another solution for our solution center that he wants us to guess. Great idea, Melvin. I think I'll read the solution story. Do you want to go get me that solution story? Okay. Thanks, Melvin. So we've got our solution scenario card. Let's read the story. Let's read the story on the back and see if the kids can help us find a solution to the problem. It says, during playtime at school, Melvin was building a tower all by himself. He was feeling lonely and sad because he wanted to play with Tucker, but Tucker was building a tower with some other friends. Melvin wanted to knock over the tower that Tucker and his friends were making because he was sad that he was playing by himself. Melvin knew that this would not be a good idea. So he decided to find a solution from the Solution Center and to bring that to Tucker and his friends. Which solution do you think Melvin brought over to Tucker and his friends? Melvin brought the play together solution. You got it there, Melvin? That's the play together solution. When would be a good time that you think you could use the play together solution? Great story, Melvin. Thanks for sharing another solution from our Solution Center. We can use the Play Together solution card when we are feeling lonely or when we see a friend who's all by themselves. Asking a friend if they want to play together is a kind and respectful way of asking if someone needs a friend to play with at that time. Okay. Yes, Melvin. Play together is a great solution. When we use the solutions and help each other, we can all feel safe and respected when we are at school. Hey, it sounds like Melvin has another solution for our solution center that he wants us to guess. Here's the story. Let's see what it says. Melvin was so excited that it was time for lunch. He couldn't wait to sit next to Tucker and tell him about his day. Melvin quickly washed his hands and got his lunchbox. Melvin and Tucker were sitting together and talking and laughing.
Melvin noticed two other friends that were sitting nearby. They were making faces and acting silly. Melvin was having a hard time hearing Tucker, and he wanted to yell at those friends. But Melvin knew that was not a good idea.
So Melvin went over to the solution center, sat down, and picked a solution. Do you know what solution Melvin picked for himself? Thanks, Melvin. Melvin picked the ignore solution. When would be a good time that you think you could use the ignore solution? Great story, Melvin. Thanks for explaining another solution from our Solution Center. We can use the ignore solution card sometimes if a friend is trying to make us feel jealous. Sometimes friends say things that are unkind, like they might say, "My picture's better than yours." You might choose to ignore that friend and focus on your own artwork. Ignore is a great solution to add to our Solution Center. When we use the solutions and help each other, we can all feel safe and respected when we're at school. Okay, Melvin wants me to bring out the turtle technique. That's a great idea, Melvin. Doing the turtle technique is a great solution because it gives us time to think. Sometimes when we feel jealous, we might say or do things that are not kind, and we may end up in our downstairs brain. The turtle technique is a great way to help us stay in our upstairs brain and find better solutions. Let's remember what we have to do. First, we stop, then tuck and hug, and then breathe. Once we are ready, we can go to the Solution Center and find a solution, like asking nicely for a turn with something that your friend might have brought from home. Great idea, Melvin. Let's practice the turtle technique song so we can practice how to stop, tuck, and hug, and then breathe. Okay, everyone, let's give those a try. Everyone say, stop, then tuck and hug, then take 3 deep breaths. And then we could head off to the Solution Center to find a solution. Melvin has another problem this week that he needs us to help him solve. He says we can use the solutions from the Solution Center or come up with our own. All right, Melvin, so here's the next story, eh? Melvin and Tucker, story number 3, trucks. Let's see if we can help you solve the problem that happens in the story. One day at school, Melvin and Tucker were playing together with trucks. Melvin was playing with the green truck for a very long time. Tucker really wanted to play with the green truck. So he took it! What should Melvin do? What should Tucker do? Yes, Melvin, the kids gave some great solutions to solve the problem. We are using our solution center often, and it is working. We are able to help each other solve problems. At school, Melvin and Tucker were learning about objects that float and sink. Melvin and Tucker were excited to see which objects would float or sink. Everyone saw how much fun Melvin and Tucker were having, and they started putting objects in the water too. Melvin remembered only 2 friends were allowed to use the water table at a time. Melvin was worried and he wanted to follow the rules. So he went to the solution board. Melvin and his friends had a hard time agreeing on a solution. They finally decided there was only one solution that could help. Melvin and his friends chose the get a teacher solution. When would be a time that you think you could use the get a teacher solution? Great story, Melvin. And thanks for explaining another solution from our Solution Center. We can use the Get a Teacher solution card when we have tried all our other solutions and we need a safe and caring person to help us find a solution. Yeah. Get a Teacher is a great solution to have in our Solution Center. When we use the solutions and help each other, we can all feel safe and respected when we are at school. So Melvin, let's look at all the solutions that we've learned about. Let's review them. There's ask nicely, get a teacher, we just did that one. Ignore, say please stop, take a break, take a breath, trade, wait and take turns. Get a timer. And play together. Those are all the different solutions on our Solution Center board. Hey, thanks Melvin for helping us out once again. We've put all of those solutions, problem-solving stories together, and kids can now think about how they can solve problems on their own using some of those solution problem-solving stories and using our solution board that, well, we have in our classroom, but that you could make for yourself at home as well. All right, thanks so much for joining Melvin and me. Bye. Thanks for joining me today in our lesson. Hope to see you again soon. I hope you had some fun, worked on some new skills, and maybe learned something new as well. Join me next time on another episode of Lessons from the Classroom. Bye for now.